Like a lot of people, I drink coffee. I'm not really a coffee snob per se, like not that that's a negative thing, but a lot of people drink coffee all day long. They're really into it. They're all about it. I drink a cup a day in the morning. I didn't used to when I was younger. As I got older, I started drinking coffee. 1 cup in the morning, sometimes maybe in the afternoon. If I'm filming, some of those days go really long, 14 hours plus. I'll probably have a couple more cups because just to get through those longer days, especially if we're shooting through the night. Other than that, I like 1 cup a day. But I've evolved through the K-Cups, through the regular machines, the old style ones where you have to brew a whole carafe. Well, that's kind of a waste for me because I don't need that much coffee. But I like the flexibility in different sizes. So I used to brew from this machine, I forget what it was, but it brewed, you had to put the water in it just enough for the 1 cup you brew, and it could only brew one size. But then you had to put just the right amount of coffee in it, adjust the strength. It was really the only way I could find, after using a Keurig for years, the way to brew 1 cup at a time. But it was, they take all the pieces and clean it every time. It was a lot of work. Through trial and error, looking at different machines, I finally found the DeLonghi TrueBrew. This thing will let you brew, I'll get into it shortly here, but 6 different sizes. You can brew whole bean or ground. If you like ground coffee, some people like it fresh as possible, so they want whole bean. It's up to you. You have a lot of different options. You can adjust the heat, temperature, you can adjust the size, the strength, all with the different settings, what I'll get into here shortly. But this machine's been working pretty well so far, and let's get into it. When you get this, I would start with the manuals. I know people don't like to read manuals, so they give you a nice color quick start guide and a regular guide, but you want to read the instructions, make sure you set it up properly, register it, all that stuff for the extended warranty, because they give you extended warranty if you register it. But real quickly, because it's difficult to see on the actual machine, there's a couple of things here. All these indicator lights, you won't see them unless they're actually on the machine right here. So that'll tell you, like, it says here, beans light, water tank light, ground container light. If something's low, those will light up. From there, you have 6 different sizes: 3 ounce, 8 ounce, 12 ounce, 16 ounce, 20 ounce, and 24 ounce. You select your size, and then light, gold, or bold, so you can actually select the strength, and it will decide how much pressure and how slow or how fast it brews. You can brew over ice, and you can brew ground coffee. As I mentioned, there's a bypass in here, so you can bypass the hopper that grinds the fresh beans if you want to brew ground coffee. Because I have my own coffee brand, because I couldn't find good organic coffee when I started drinking coffee, so created my own, did all the homework. People are not familiar with me. It's on Amazon. This is the whole bean. I also have ground. I keep in this little container right here, and you can see the logo actually. So it's the start button basically on a car, kind of like exotic car Ferraris. If you've seen, they're more like red sometimes. I did a little play on that, made like a red carbon fiber. But engine start, like wake up, start your engine. Somebody actually commented on my Amazon listing that said, I don't get the name. Like, I don't understand how you don't get it. It's starting the engine on your car. If you, I guess maybe somebody still has an older car with keys. I don't know. But like I said, they're vacuum sealed packs, bullet points on the back to kind of describe it. I will have the link in this description below, as usual, like any other, that you can buy the coffee. It's a link to my store. I have really nice cups. Let's see if I can find those. Yes. I'm out of stock on those because I'm making some changes, but I have really nice cups you'll see in my store once I get those back in stock. They're double insulated because, like, if you go to the, the big place, they have those sleeves, or they'll double cup, especially, and like, why waste a double cup? I wanted a good, heavy duty, double insulated, so you don't have to put a sleeve or double cup. They're really nice. They're durable. You know what I mean? If I'm going to use it, I'm not going to sell it to somebody unless it's something I use in this particular case, because I use them every day. First thing you're going to do is remove this lid. Now, if you look, a lot of people are worried about the beans. See how this is vented? It's vented right over, if you can see, where that, set this down, where this is the bypass. So when you put ground coffee, you're going to put the ground coffee in here. You have to read the manual or the quick start guide, like I said, they'll show you how many scoops to put in depending on what size you're brewing. And yeah, I don't know if this is going to come through the flashing of the LEDs. That's just kind of a common thing with certain LEDs and monitors and things when you record in, like, I think it's 1080p or 4K, which I'm recording this in a flash, so sorry about that if you're seeing that. But you put your beans in here, just kind of, this thing keeps them from, you know, jamming your hopper if you're doing beans. So the first thing you want to do, fill this with beans. And a lot of people are like, well, why do I want to put my fresh beans in here when they're already in a vacuum, airtight? It's got the, you know, for the, if it outgasses, it's got a valve on it, but they're airtight, and you want to keep air is what, you know, destroys coffee over time. Well, they thought of that. Around this entire perimeter, including this air vent, which is like a vent for the ground part, there's a rubber O-ring, like a gasket seal. So you're fine putting your beans in here and covering this up, and you'll feel it seal. Just make sure it seals nice. Seal that down real good, and now your beans will stay fresh even though they're in here, and you pour them in here. If you pour the whole, you know, bag into here, there's a nice little O-ring seal. And like I said, there's a vent because it needs air for the bypass. The bypass is where you'll put the ground. Next, you're going to want to fill the water. And again, you'll see all this stuff in the instructions, but you always want to make sure there's water in here. Depending on what size cups you brew, how much you brew, that's going to determine how often you have to fill this. But the thing I like is it kind of reminds me of a Keurig style where you just fill this thing up every couple days, or depending on how much coffee you go through, as opposed to the old brew style coffee maker I had that you had to put the water in it every day. So that's one of the things I definitely like about this. So let's turn it on, and you'll see, you'll hear it make a bunch of popping and grinding and moving noises. I'll show, pretty soon I'll take it apart and I'll show you what's going on in there so you can see what's happening. I've watched some of the other YouTubers videos and they're like, I don't know what's going on in there. And when you turn it off, the same thing. There's also a timer, I believe the manual tells you, I think it's after 30 minutes, it will automatically turn off if you leave it, and you leave it unattended or after you brew a cup of coffee. But it will make all these noises. As you can see, it's still making all of its things, because what it's doing is there's a mechanism in there that's moving around, it's rising up, and it's getting ready to accept the grounds and compact them. And the nice thing about this coffee maker is it compacts them into like a little puck, like a mini little hockey puck, and it'll dump them. Once this is done, it'll dump the hockey pucks in a little hopper in one side. I'll show you in a minute. And then it runs a little rinse cycle, and it has a little container for the water that it rinses itself out, and then it's ready to go again. Now, again, you could check your size, depending on what size you want to brew, just to keep this, you know, quick or easy here. I'm just going to do a quick 8-ounce one. You can check, you can see light, gold, or bold. There's your options there. I prefer more light. My coffee is a medium roast. If you use my coffee, like I said, link in the description. I'll also put a link for the coffee maker itself in the description. But I like a light roast or a medium roast. So what I did with my coffee is it's actually kind of roasted between a light and a medium, but I label it a medium roast because I don't want people who like really, really light coffee. But everyone has said no matter how strong you make it, it's not overwhelming, it's not overpowering. I'm one of those people that don't like French or dark roast. And you'll see actually some of my bullet points explain that. Medium roast helps maintain more of the health promoting phenols. See, like I'm doing a voiceover. Roasting coffee darker can destroy some of the healthy aspects of the beans. You'll see more details on my Amazon listing and on my packaging, but it actually does. So if you're trying to be healthy, and I chose organic coffee, all of mine is organic, certified. So if you're trying to be healthier, I wanted everything, you know, kind of healthy. If you know some of the stuff I've been going through, some of my other videos, I've been going through chemo, so kind of aware of all that stuff. And there you go. So light, you can brew over ice if you want to make iced coffee. There's instructions to explain that. Usually when you brew over ice, you want to put some kind of milk or cream. I drink mine black, and I made sure I made really good coffee that's drinkable black and not overpowering. You know, your preference may be different, but, you know, use whatever coffee you like in here. Get it ready. Like I said, it'll turn on, it'll do all its things. And then there's a couple things you can do. This will handle some water if you spill in there, and there's a little floaty thing that'll pop up, and it's got a little red indicator that'll show you, hey, drain this thing. But if you're brewing a cup, a lot of times these coffee makers, I'm sure people know from experience, when you have a big gap like this, it will pop, 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 you know, like it'll spray all over the place. You'll end up with a mess. So a lot of times I end up putting a towel around this thing depending on what size cup. Well, it also has a fold down tray if you're using a shorter cup, which I am here. So if you want a mug or whatever. So to reduce some of that overspray or that splash, you can put it on the shelf to get a little closer. That helps. So there we go. It will start by grinding the beans depending on how much you want, how strong you want it, and what size you chose. It automatically calculates all that. So here you go. Brew. So like I said, it grinded the beans, brought them down into this mechanism I'll show you shortly, compacted them into a little puck, and now it starts the brewing process. And to keep this quick, I just did a quick 8 ounce, but I'll save you from this. Let me cut ahead of this. Oh, that smells good. You see that steam coming off. Okay, so now it's done. I did a little cut to save you from waiting for the whole thing to brew. Then you'll hear it doing a bunch of stuff behind, you know, the back again. A lot of people are like, what are all these noises? Well, you know, it extracts the rest of the water out of there, obviously, so it doesn't make a mess. And then it's going to, it has a little flipper, and it's going to flip the puck into the hopper. You'll actually hear all this happening. And then it's going to do a little prep in case it's expecting you to brew another cup in case, you know, you want one for someone else, or you change your mind, you want more. You can use the same cup, brew more into it, whatever you want to do. If there's room, don't watch out, it doesn't overfill, but it does that. Now, the next thing, just so you can kind of see this, now that it's done, just move that out of the way. It still might drip a little bit, but that's, like I said, it's got the drip tray for that. There's also multiple drip trays. They've made some improvements on the back. There used to be leaks. I'll show you when I take this apart in a minute. It used to be leaks, and they put a little mini drip tray, and there's another side drip tray. This actually has a piece that goes onto the back. So they found ways to make some improvements over the years. So I like the things they've done. Now, again, you can either leave this sitting here for, I think, 30 minutes, I believe it says, and it'll shut off itself. Or you can turn it off yourself. If you turn it off yourself, again, you're going to hear it do some weird stuff. You can't open this until it's done doing that. Don't try and pull this open right away. Make sure you turn the machine off. You always have to, before you open this, make sure the machine is off and it's done doing all this. Because now what it's doing is running a little rinse cycle. You'll hear it. You'll see the water level go down as it runs its rinse cycle. You can hear it dripping into the tray in the back, or not a tray, it's actually like a little container. Now you have to be careful. Like I said, depending on how much coffee you drink, you got to empty the pucks out or empty the drip tray, rinse everything out, and I'll show you how all that in a second. But another thing, if you have a garden and you have pests, animals, rabbits, whatever, that's eating your garden, one of the tricks they say with these pucks is you can go throw them out and spread the coffee grounds around your garden, and it'll stop pests, whether that's bugs, spiders, animals, rabbits. I guess they don't like it when the coffee grounds are there, but it's good mulch. So, you know, if you want to be green. There you go. Nice, hot, fresh cup of coffee. Cheers. Ooh, that's hot. Now, that's another thing. You can adjust the temperature. I don't know if you, depending on what model Keurig you had, and some other coffee makers allow you to adjust the temperature. Again, read the manual or the quick start guide for the people who don't want to read the home manual. It's not that long anyway. But the quick start guide, you can change your timers. You can have this go on for you and be ready to go in the morning before you get up. You can have different temperatures. There's a descaling kit that comes with it. You'll have to do that once in a while depending on what kind of water you use. Now, I will show you a little trick around that. I've talked about this before in one of my other videos. Again, I'll put links in the description. Now, you can use whatever you want, Brita or whatever, but this is zero water. Much bigger water filter in this thing. But if you always never use straight tap water, and some people, depending what part of the country or world you're watching from, some people have good water, bad water, different minerals in it that where you might need to descale a lot more often. To prevent that, I have never descaled a coffee maker in my life because I always use filtered water in it. That way all that stuff that would normally be clogging up the machine, especially in Keurigs, it had like a little needle in it. If you ever had one and it clogged and it stopped working, if you looked up, there was YouTube videos that show you how to clean that out and get it working again. It was because the scaling would build up from the minerals in your water. But if you always use filtered water, you almost never have to descale. I wouldn't say never, still follow the manufacturer's instructions, so you don't void the warranty. But I've never had to, and none of my coffee makers have ever clogged. So that one will save you. Now we'll take it apart and show you a few things. The other thing about the filtered water that I use, it makes your coffee taste better. I forgot to mention that earlier. But again, make sure the machine is off. You always want to make sure the machine is off before you do this. Just grab any part of it, here, whatever you want, and you just pull it. It comes right out. But you got to be careful. I wouldn't yank it. And I'll show you why. Because as I mentioned, here, this thing has the water in it and the residue from rinsing it. So set that over here, and you can see in here, maybe depending on the lighting, but it puts the pucks in here. Sometimes they smash. I guess I must have bumped it or whatever, and it's just the puck doesn't stay a puck. It kind of fell apart, but you'll see over time, you'll see a bunch of pucks piled up in here, and you have to be careful it doesn't overfill. But there is indicator lights to tell you when this is full, and you should empty it, but I just empty it every couple days or whatever. And then the actual back itself has a QR code to kind of get you started and get some ideas. But if you look in here, you can see there's extra drainage through the back from the front to the back drip tray in case it overfills. And there's drip trays for both of the things I just removed. Now, if you look in here, about once every, I think it's once a week, they tell you, you want to clean this real quick. So all you do is you grab both of these buttons at the same time. And again, that's why it has to be off. This device moves up and down. So when you heard all that moving and all like motor movements when we were turning it on and turning it off, this thing is moving up and down and doing its thing. So you just pinch them, pull it straight out. You can see there's a push. When you put it back, you do the same thing. Just put it in, push, and it locks. Again, pinch to remove. Now you'll see, remember I said there's a flipper? This is that flipper that flips. So it kind of makes a hockey puck on here of the coffee, compresses it, and that's why this thing actually goes up so that it can compress that. And then all you want to do is take this thing and rinse it out about once a week. And then there's another, like I mentioned, there's another little extra drip tray. They didn't used to have this, and a lot of people used to complain it would build up drip and stuff in there. So you just rinse this or dump it out or whatever. And then you don't have to, I don't think, but I go in there. If you look with a flashlight, just kind of, there's a lot of coffee dust around on the top and stuff. You might want to just clean that once in a while if you care, if you want to. But let's show you this. And just in the sink, I just run a little water, rinse these out. Here's the one that has the, when it cleans it, the extra water, and it rinses it. You'll see just every once in a while, so it doesn't get moldy. I would actually clean this with some soap every once in a while and hot water to make sure it doesn't get moldy, because mold can build up. But you really just dump it, rinse it, air it out if you want for a little bit. But this, all you do, you don't have to use soap. You read the manual, they'll tell you the specifics, but all you really have to do is rinse this. And I'll just give it a quick rinse, shake it out, air it out a little, and then here's the coffee grounds. You'll see I'll dump them in here. Like I said, normally I go spread them outside. I got some greenery out there. I can put them in to, or put the coffee grounds in to, again, it removes pests and it's good for mulch, I guess. Now you will have that coffee smell, so if it's in an area you spend a lot of time, like mine is right next to my terrace, my outdoor terrace, you smell the coffee for like a day or two, but if it rains, it'll wash it right away. And then just let all that stuff kind of dry. When you go to put all this stuff back, you kind of have to do it in a reverse order because of this red tray. If you don't put this in first, you won't be able to get it in. But you kind of just, you'll feel it kind of awkward finagling it in there till it rests on the bottom. You know, I'm having trouble with it. There you go. And when it pops in there, you feel it's nice and locked in there. But you have to put that in first before you put this back in. And like I said, just make sure it's upright. Place it here, push it till you hear it clicks, and then that's done. Now take this, and you'll see there's like a little pattern so you know which one goes where. And the little tab you'll see sticking out goes to the back on both of these. Make sure you put those back in, ready to go like that. And then all you gotta do is turn it around and you're ready to go. Clean. Like I said, I do that about once a week, just rinse it out, clean those things out. throw the coffee out in the mulch, and you're all good. It's a pretty easy machine. I haven't had many problems with it. You can use the ground. Okay, so the ground bypass, what I showed you up top here earlier, if you use the ground bypass, you're going to select the ground. The manual will explain all this, but you'll select ground, and then it'll tell you how many scoops depending on what size you selected. And then you're going to take this lid off, and you're going to use this little scooper, and you're going to just pour those in the bypass, and they'll go right past the whole bean. And then obviously it will, as long as you've selected it, you have to make sure you selected the ground coffee. It will bypass the grinding process because obviously you're putting in pre-ground coffee. So if you prefer and you like your own ground coffee, you can do that. It's a little more cumbersome because it kind of is messy. If you look, you'll see the grounds are kind of all around here. It gets a little messy. I don't know, but it's doable. But it gave me a reason to use more whole bean, and like I said, keeps it a little fresher. So, you know, let me know what you think. Comment if you have any questions or anything, just let me know. And so far I'm enjoying it. Hope you do too. Like I said, links in the description below.